Yo, 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 what's Gucci, everybody? Thanks for checking out another entertainment video. Right now, I'm going to be talking a little bit about or not a little bit, going to be diving in to the Love is Blind episode 12. Just dropped today. Going to do a recap. Absolutely hilarious episode if you're into seeing some funny reality TV where people are just putting themselves out there. I don't know where they find these people, who finds them, but thank you. We appreciate it. The entertainment is golden as always, man. So if you haven't watched season 6, episode 12, which is the one I dropped today, if you haven't watched it, who cares? If you want to hear about it anyway, stay in. If not, jump to Netflix, check it out, come back. Definitely some juicy, funny drama that goes down. And I'm going to get started right off the rip, man. So, episode doesn't even give you like 10 seconds. Very Game of Thrones-esque, where you're just kind of thrown into the fire. Chelsea, a.k.a. Megan Leno, a.k.a. Whatever, Dave Leno, whoever his name is. But she got the crimson chin. They drop her right in right away. And I can't stand her, guys. I'm sorry. I can't stand her voice. It's very nasally, and it's like driving me crazy. And right off the rip, they're just, I'm standing there like, man, Jimmy, run, Jimmy, run. Just telling him, go, buddy. Levi, you still have a chance. This lady's crazy. He's sitting there telling her, like, how much he loves her and that all this stuff. And I'm like, man, just thinking, like, Jimmy, you're making a mistake, brother. I want to drop in there, like, Impractical Jokers in his ear. Jimmy, leave while you can. Punch her in the chin and get to running, Jimmy boy. But, I'm a little nervous. And then just kind of like, boom, out of nowhere, Jimmy just kind of drops the bomb. He's like, I love you. I mean, I want to be with you, but I just don't see this, going any further. Something along those lines. I think I wrote it down. I got a notebook here, guys. Keep it classy. Pretty much says he loves her to death, but he was set on not going to the altar. It was, I mean, I guess he was trying to like butter her up a little bit. Like, I love you. You've done so much for me on this journey. I'm going to go with Cap. I was looking at, I think I got the article pulled up here. I was looking at something about it. Get this guy off here. And I wrote it down when I was watching the show. I'm like, salesman. Jimmy works in sales. This guy just knows how to, you're going to get a rejection. You're going to get a no. He knows how to soften the blow. So I was taking a look. Let me zoom in. So obviously right here, Love is Blind. I do. She revealed she could see herself marrying him. The 28-year-old software salesman. I knew it, man. Jimmy, smooth talker. He knew what he was doing out there. I think from like 5 episodes ago, which was like episode 1, whenever he chose her, I was like, this ain't going to work. All the stuff he kept telling her the whole time, I felt it was Cap. He was definitely into what's her face, Jessica. He was flirting with AD. It was a weird relationship, but I'm happy they broke up. I hate to say it. Save us the headache. Save me the Google search of seeing if they made it, because I knew it wasn't going to happen. And, I mean, bro, you saved yourself. That girl was annoying. Sorry, Chelsea, but absolutely just getting on my nerves. All she would always say was, this sucks. Oh, my God, this sucks. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. I never understand that. Whatever. So they're the first ones right off the rip. Boom. Over with. Broken up. Nothing happening. Then they drop over to AD and Clay. And I thought they had a pretty good chance. I mean, we're not going to go through that part real quick. Ruin the end. But, they're going through it. AD's talking with her family, all that stuff. Clay still cannot stop talking about cheating. They finally brought his dad in. They brought his mom in. His dad, you could 100% tell, was like a smooth talker. He went on like some 30-second like quote speech with Clay about, I have no idea what. You could tell Clay was trying to get some advice on like, how do you know when you want to get married? And his dad just went on some other path of like how to be smooth and all this stuff. So shout out to them. But I mean, long story short, they go up to the altar, they're still doing their thing, walking up and, crying on TV. Like I said, not a good look. AD crying all the time, happy tears at first. So she was all excited, doing her little dance. Her family came through. And I mean, dude, the whole time I just kept thinking like, hey, I don't know. This one, they're leaning towards yes. They're leaning towards no. And then AD's mom walks in. She's kind of got like the Billie Jean, Michael Jackson vibe going. She had her hat tilted. I was like, man, this is setting up a good omen. She starts talking about Clay's mom, that she's a real one, that we meshed together, yada, yada, yada. Then they cut over to Clay, and he's like talking again about uncertainty and, it's going to be a game time decision. And he literally, I wrote that down too. I'm like, he's going to say no, bro. There's just like no chance. How many times he talks about not feeling like responsible enough to be in a marriage, and he wants to stay together, but he doesn't know if he's ready. His dad cheated on his mom 7 years in. When he said that, I couldn't stop laughing. Talking about his parents' marriage like it was Love Is Blind season 7. He's like, yeah, in the 7th year, my dad cheated on my mom, and I just don't know if I can't do it. So I don't know what she was thinking, but bro, that's got to be some sort of sign. AD, come on. He's literally telling you, like, I don't know if I can do it. I'm not sure. And she's like, nah, I think you could do it. Nah, I think you could do it. And I think a lot of people, not to blame Clay, but off the rip, in the pods, he asked her for, like, what do you look like? What do you this? That's probably should have been a little bit of a red flag for her, but, she didn't see it. So ultimately, they get up there. She says, yeah. He's like still being nice to her, telling her he loves her and all that. You look great. Gives his little spiel. And as soon as the little spiel starts, when you start listing reasons why you love her, and it didn't sound like, if it was, why am I losing that word? If it was their, man, I'm blanking out. Whatever you say to each other when you're going to get married, your vows, there we go. I should know that. When you're saying your vows to each other, it didn't sound like that. It sounded more like right before he breaks up with someone. So he pretty much tells her, I want to be with you, but I'm not ready to get married. And I don't think I should get married unless I'm 100% in, and I 100% know I love you, and I 100% know this and that. And it was kind of funny. I mean, it's fucked up because she said, yeah, and he said no, but it's funny because he totally got caught off guard. He was like, I mean, I didn't think that's how she was going to act. Like, what do you think a girl's going to act like when you tell her no at the altar when she says she loves you? Her whole family's there. Your family's there. So he was hella caught off guard. He literally said that he's like, AD, it was a game time decision. It was a game time decision. Like, you know how horrible that's to make you feel? She's like, I love you. And he's like, girl, you're game time decision. Like, I didn't know. Was it there? Was it that? Treating it like it's Kawhi Leonard on the Toronto Raptors, girl. It's a game time decision. I don't know is it because the city we're in? Is it because I'm hurt? I don't know. But honestly, that's super embarrassing, man. And I don't even know how these people do it. Like, they got the courage to go still talk to the camera afterwards. Shout out to them. I feel like most people, if you get embarrassed like that, you probably just want to run away and go hide. And they ended up, Clay still tried to talk to AD after. He was trying to see, like, I still love you. I want to become a better man for you, yada, yada, yada. And she pretty much said that she's not feeling it. So right off the rip, guys, 2 for 2, dunzo. First one doesn't even get to the altar. Second couple, they get to the altar, and then he says no. Not too surprising. I guess a little bit. In the moment, I was like, man, I think they might say, yeah, but ultimately, when you go back, he was leaving little breadcrumbs of no's at the altar. I think we should have all saw it coming. What Siri said, it's irresponsible of me. This is what Clay said. It's irresponsible of me to say yes in this time when I'm not ready to give you 100%. And you wouldn't want that. And that sounds funny because he says he still wants to date her, but he doesn't want to give her 100%. So he's trying to just be like little friends with benefits or something like that. But shout out to AD. Shout out to Clay. I'm sure they're both going to get plenty of love out there on the internet and get bothered by everybody, since they were both kind of like two of the most thirsty people on that show. But last couple, man, kind of like the boring couple, the couple that you've just known were dating forever, Amy and Johnny. Shout out to the other redhead, y'all. I mean, what's under the cap? A little bit of auburn red, but shout out to Johnny, 28-year-old e-commerce specialist. I have no idea what that means. Either he's selling stuff on eBay or maybe he works for Uber. But him and Amy, they ended up, I'm going to just cut it short. They got married. They actually said yeah to each other, which, I mean, they had a pretty genuine relationship, but the craziest part is that they said yeah to each other without ever having sex, going all the way. The old 1-2, the old bada boom, bada bing. But yeah, man, I don't know how. I don't know if I'm crazy, if the world's crazy, but that's pretty nuts. 28-year-olds, they met each other on TV through a wall. You're going to get married to each other and you've never had sex. I don't know about that one, big dog. And the funnier part is the background reason. He swear, what is it right here? The birth control, they got it right in this article. Johnny, for some reason, Johnny, a.k.a. the Raw Dog King or something, just refuses to wear condoms. I don't know if he has a latex allergy. This man's allergic to something, but he's just always like, everybody I was with always had birth control. Like, it's a big risk if me and Amy get into it and we don't want to, and we have a baby and I want to retire by I'm 50 and blah, 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 blah. I mean, bro, I think AD on the show said it best. Like, you probably got to test drive the automobile, buddy. Imagine taking home like a fucking, I don't even know much about cars, but a like 1996 Honda just because you saw a picture of it online. Then when you get in there, you realize that that thing just like barely moving, just trucking along. Like, man, what if they're just not vibing? What if Johnny's into some weird shit? What if Johnny has like a fucking sex swing in a dungeon and Amy's not into it? I don't know, but congratulations to them. And I mean, besides that, theirs is funny to me just because of the shit that they're thinking about. Johnny, I think, was talking to his friends and literally said that we talked about everything. And he was like super serious. This must mean, I guess he thinks that this is what love is. But like, what do we do if we file for bankruptcy? What would we do if a tree fell down and State Farm wasn't going to cover the deductible? What would we do if, you know, we pay our ComEd bill, but the light pole went out 3 miles away? He just started going into like all these random specific scenarios that I get it. You want to learn how to deal with something with somebody you're going to marry, but why would that be the determining factor? Why would the way that she tells you, like, I'm sure this girl probably never even thought of bankruptcy. And she's like, yeah, you know, we'll fight through it together. And I could just see Johnny, you know, shedding a little tear, but shout out to Johnny, man. Redheads we're not getting the love we deserve everywhere. So it's nice to see him out here. And, you know, it was very smooth. They were open about things. I would question her to really test her and see where she stood on certain topics. I was just so open and transparent about it. But they definitely faced some challenges. Yeah, you guys weren't having sex. That's a challenge. Imagine just on this show, Johnny's hair going to start turning blue. You know what I'm saying? It's got some built up aggression. This part's so funny. We weren't seeing eye to eye on that. She told him to get a vasectomy. That was funny as fuck. But man, we got to see real quick if there's any. I want to find out if anything ever happened. Real quick, blah, 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 put in both something good, and all of a sudden I see it was like, I'm like, maybe not. There's something people do not at school during sex. Blah 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 blah. It's not just a girl job. This right here, like, who says this? All my previous partners have been on the pill. Your only birds are not going by your partner getting a vasectomy. I thought about this too. I was like, dude, is he got like a sponsorship or something by some sort of birth control company? Or is he working with Planned Parenthood to try to get awareness out there? Because that shit had me. I thought the same thing, right? They were both so confused. Johnny just, I don't know, bro. I think he's lying. Either he's lying or this man just loves, pardon my language, nutting inside of everybody. Just a nutter. Johnny the nutter. Like, oh, I refuse. Oh, I don't want to wear a condom. Oh, you have birth control. Man is going nuts, though. But a great season, man. Shout out to Amy and Johnny. They stayed together. It all happened, you know. I'm trying to think of just anything else about them, but nothing really, you know. And just the way that it ended, again, they brought it back to Clay, and he was like, I didn't realize the magnitude of saying no. And at that moment, I'm like, yeah, saying no was probably the best thing for you, buddy. He seems like he's a little world. He was wearing a wool sweater, and they're like in somewhere hot. Everybody's wearing T-shirts. I'm like, Clay, you're just on another planet. But Chelsea, Jimmy broke up over, no altar. AD and Clay. AD said yeah. Clay said no. And then Johnny, the Red Rocket, and Amy, they both said yeah, they're going all the way. We'll find out in the reunion if they've had sex or not, I'm sure. Hopefully they did for their sake, buddy. And hopefully they've taken a sex ed class, guys. Somebody send them a YouTube video. But let's see, man. I'm going to drop another video next week with the reunion. So if you haven't seen these episodes, check it out, man. I don't even know how I've gotten here, to be honest with you. I like sports. Never really been into reality, but I'm married now. Is the type of stuff we watch, and this shit is hilarious. Thanks for checking in. Like, subscribe, do your thing. Let's go.